Oh. Yeah, I late. My hair, whew. Hi. We got peoples. Why does that do that? How's everybody doing? I'm a little late tonight. I apologize. After I ate, I was kind of tired, so I kind of just vegetated. So I figured, yeah, okay, maybe now it's time to get the fish tanks full and come on by. Let's see, the baby's asleep. Megan is in her room on her computer playing her game, which is something she doesn't get to do very much since the baby's been born. So, yeah, I wasn't going to make her come in. To family. I'm sharing it out real quick. See how many people we can get up in here. So we got 3 in the house, 3 thumbs up. Yep. Let's do regular Facebook. Share. So how is everybody doing? It's cold here. Like, really cold. Of course, that's not a real surprise. See, can we make this bigger? Yes, we can. Oop, I lost my chat. Where'd it go? There it is. What is our weather? Oh, it is not 43. It felt a lot colder than that. I think DuckDuckGo is broken because it don't feel 43 to me. So how's everybody doing? Are you enjoying your Wednesday night? I was listening to scary stories on Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube. Until I was kind of bored. I was waiting. I read these books on an app, but I've done caught up to the writers, so I have to wait for them to be updated. I guess I should be planting out my garden since it's like January. Oh yeah, I really should be planting out my garden. I really should be starting my seeds, like rather sooner than later, because I know I'm gonna do a few different herbs. And I know I'm going to do peppers and, of course, tomatoes. But tomatoes, I think I can kind of wait till February to plant. Peppers, I really need to start now. And some of my herbs, like the cumin, parsley, and that kind of stuff. My class ring. I took my rings off because I could play with the dough when I was kneading dough yesterday. I was trying to make garlic knots without using yeast. Yeah, that was an epic fail. Or note to self, always use yeast when making garlic knots or rolls or stuff like that. Tortillas, yeah, that's fine, but is that? I need to find my other seed thing that has just all the miscellaneous little packages. No, that one will work. See, I have this one. I'm with this seed company. I pay them $5 a month, and then I get random seeds They go by your growing zone and how you grow. It's called UOG LLC. I can't remember what that stood for now. UOG.LLC. Site cannot be reached. Okay, let's just do that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That would have been good. Ship UOG seed. Urban Organic Gardeners. Duh. You ever had one of them moments? Copy. Paste. There we go. So I've been with them a while, and they go by your growing zone, and you put information in, like if you grow in containers or if you grow in the garden beds or in the ground and stuff like that. And they just send you random seeds that you can grow. And I got like purslane, basil, sage. They even sent me a cover crop, which thought that was pretty cool. They sent me some garlic, which I've already planted that. I got Swiss chard, bush beans, oregano, and I got 2 Swiss chards. I mean, lettuce, you name it, I have it in here. I even got microgreens from them. I thought that was pretty cool. And what else? Cool melon seeds. I got those from Terry, from Organic Raw Root Farm. But I was trying to keep all the seeds that are like in packages like that in one container to try to keep up with them. I tell you, if you got seeds and you need to store them, these little things, man, they work. It's the most organized my seeds have ever been since I've been gardening. I still have 6 containers that are empty. And you can buy them just those little containers, but you can also get them with the suitcase that holds it. I think I got 2 of them for $40 or $45 or something like that. It was my birthday or Christmas, whatever, present to myself. Because I really needed to organize my seeds. But it was well worth it. It took forever to get in, too, in the mail. Let's see, well, I haven't even checked my monetization to see what hours I'm at. I'm not sure. Let's find out. It's Wednesday, though. It's not like one of my normal nights to go live. Used to be Thursday was the only night I went live. It says, yeah. Yep, they have 162 watching. So you? Why, are you gonna go leave me to watch the Max? I wouldn't blame you. Hey, Thrifty VG, how are you doing? Thrifty VG from Rhode Island. Sad story. I've only got 1 Dr. Pepper left. I'll either have to make some tea or, dare I say, drink water. Oh, that is why my count's low? No, my count is... I think this is my second... Well, okay, it may be. But this is only my second Wednesday, so a lot of people don't even... Yeah, it's a new thing. Now, on Thursdays, it's a little higher because that's the night I've always gone live. Saturday wasn't too bad though. And I think I was on just a little over 2 hours. I was pretty impressed. But my hours are climbing slowly. I almost didn't go live tonight because I just wasn't, you know, I wasn't hyper. I was just kind of, I just felt like I needed a nap. Of course, this late at night, it's not a nap. You just go to bed early. But, yeah. I don't know. But it's all good. I get some people up in here. Yay. And I've actually had 15 visit the channel, so that's, well, 13 visit the channel since I've been live, so that's not too bad. Let's see, check my notifications. The Macs are live. Wide Family Farm is live. Quebec Homestead was live. Tony Damien is live. I don't even know who that is. Apparently I'm subscribed to him. Living Miracle Homestead is live. So yeah, there's quite a few on. Gail Southern Living. Oh, that's just an upload. But yeah, there are quite a few that are live right now. I'm sure that doesn't help my numbers. Do you have to reach it or lose them? Yes and no. Once you reach it, you have to maintain it. But what happens is after you've been on for more than a year, every new day, one day drops off the back half. And that's what's hurting me right now. I've had a YouTube channel for 3.5 years. So my days are dropping off as each new day comes. And yeah, none of the people I watch are on tonight. So you're all good. I love you, Thrifty. Usually the ones you watch, I'm in their live anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on that one little light. Does that make a difference? I don't even know if that makes a difference. Where's it at? Oh, maybe if I hit the right button. That don't even make a difference. Because of the babysitting job, I haven't been able to watch a lot of people's lives. I know. I clean the house on, usually it's Wednesdays, but this week it'll be Friday. And since the baby's been born, it's been hard to do videos and, you know, get things kind of lined up. Especially when you want to sit and hold him and kiss him. That's probably one reason why my garden still isn't done. But it's been real kind of nasty weather, too. I mean, the sun came out today, but it's been raining and cold, so I haven't really been able to get out in the yard and start cleaning it up real good. I think I'm going to move I have 3 cattle panels, and I think I'm going to move them from one side to the other where I had these 2 really long beds and make like a tunnel. Hey, Copper Kettle. Or how does Abby say it? Cotter Keppel or something like that. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? What was I saying? Oh, I just had a blind moment. Heartburn too. Oh, I'm going to move those cattle panels over. I'm thinking I'm going to take the 3 that I have, and I know they're 4, 8. Well, that gives me 12, like a 12-foot tunnel. One garden bed is 18 feet, the other one's 16 feet. So I can take those cattle panels and go down in a row and kind of make like a long tunnel. And me and Megan was talking about it, because I plan on growing more loofahs this year, because she loves them, especially to wash dishes with. Definitely growing more cucamelons, some sugar baby watermelons, and maybe a couple different kinds of cantaloupe. And I think somebody sent me a horn melon or something that I want to try to see if I can grow. But it'd be kind of cool to have like a tunnel of cattle panels this summer, just full of vegetation. The only thing I worry about is things growing in that bed. Afraid it'll shade it too much. I kind of been thinking on it. I haven't done it yet because the way they are now, it doesn't shade it like it could. But I don't know, if I turn them sideways, they might shade a lot. Then again, maybe they won't, because the sun, rises from the east and sets in the west. I'll have to sit down and kind of draw out that garden bed, and I know where south is and north is, and see how the sun rises, and if it would make too much of a difference if I put those cattle panels in a long single row, like a little tunnel. But that would be cool. I definitely want to do some decorating in the garden this year. You can always grow those shade plants around the cattle panels. True, I have enough beds that even if I sacrifice those 2 long beds, because the 18-foot bed I think is 3 foot wide, and the 16-foot bed is 4 foot wide. That's quite a bit of space that I'll be giving up. But also, on the other hand, as severe as Texas sun is in the summer, things might grow better if they're shaded out like that. I know I have a couple beds over in the far corner, and they get shaded in the afternoon because of my neighbor's trees. They're got a 6-foot privacy fence, and I trim them as best I can, but I can't cut them down because they're not in my yard. But the limbs that lean over, I can cut them and not get as much shade. But I think that's one reason why my garden does so well in the summer here, when a lot of other people's doesn't, because the plant says it needs a full 6 hours of shade, or full 6 hours of sun, or 6 to 8 hours, but they don't realize how intense that sun is in July and August here in Texas. It's like 105, 107, and it'll stay that way for weeks on end, in the hundreds, and just about everything will fry if you're not careful. I know, one year, my cucamelon, I think it was last year, my cucamelons fried. I mean, they just burnt up. Now, the regular cucumbers, they did okay, and I didn't grow any watermelons last year. I grew Kajari melons and tiger melons, and they kind of struggled when that heat finally kicked in, because, in the summer, it'll absolutely fry whatever's out there. I thought about even getting a shade cloth for the bamboo arbor to kind of help out, like in July and August. That way maybe some of the crops would last a little longer, because a lot of people won't even garden in August in this area. Hey, Tim Turner, how are you doing? I tried to save you cinnamon roll. Hey, Dawn, All Things Acres. Yes, you are here, and we are glad to have you. I was just talking about how intense our summer is. You okay? Me too. I was feeling a little tired at first, but I'm starting to pick up. Oh, maybe I'll go turn that on. Hey, Daniel, I ain't seen you in a while. How's it going? But the low tunnels are high tunnels, right? Yeah, the low tunnels are my high tunnels. And that's what I kind of thought about doing with it. During the summer, I can have, melons and gourds growing on it, and cucamelons. And then as soon as it starts getting cold, I could get some plastic and put on it, and just kind of close off one end and make kind of a makeshift door at the other end, and kind of have a high tunnel for the winter, so I could grow lettuce and cabbage and stuff like that. Hi from Southwest Tennessee, or Southeast West, like near Memphis. I have been sick. I'm in the hospital. Oh, sorry to hear that, Daniel. I'll keep you in my prayers. Hey, Dustin TV. How's everybody? How's everybody's night so far? My night's pretty good. I've eaten dinner and got the food's put away, and now I'm talking to my people. So, can't complain. Mid-South Homestead, have I asked you before if you were near Tennessee? Or near Memphis? I think I have. Kind of having a memory. I used to live near Memphis, that's why I asked. Thank you, Thrifty. I am 1 hour east of downtown Memphis. Okay, cool. Is that going like... Oh, I want to say toward Jackson, but I can't remember. I am from Donaldsonville, Georgia, where Hurricane Michael hit in 2018. Dang. Sorry to hear that, Dustin. You know, I didn't know you then. I know the area I used to live in was hit by a tornado, and it did a lot of damage. I think it was in '06, and they still haven't recovered from it. Lake Charles was hit by a hurricane this past year, and they're still not recovered from it. I know a lot of them, it takes time. Yeah, Jackson, Tennessee. I used to live there for about, oh man, a few months. Maybe 4 or 5 months I lived there. They had a tornado hit and kind of devastate them too. And it was after the fact. I can't remember quite when it was. '99, so 1999, Nevada, Carson City. Wow, we just have them from all over, don't we? I've been to Nevada, but not Carson City. We are closer to Collierville. Google that. Oops. I'm in Nemo, Texas. Tim, is that a real town? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Because, you know, Texas has some weird names. Louisiana got hit by a hurricane 3 times in 1 year. Yeah. They got hit a couple, well, Lake Charles got hit twice this past year. Hey, Germantown, I know where that's at, Memphis. Yeah, wow. Yep, that's so close to where I used to hang out at. 2 days of snow. No, thank you. You can keep that. I don't like no snow. Wow, there really is a Nemo, Texas. Yes, it is. Nemo is next to Rainbow, down the road from Glen Rose. Okay, I know where Glen Rose is. I've been there to the Dinosaur Valley. That's pretty stinking cool. I really want to go back there. I got a couple of inches last night up here, and then Thursday and Friday was supposed to get more snow. Oh, I hope not, Thrifty. I hate the snow, man. I'm so glad I live in Texas. It was 70 here on Sunday. Today it's 39. Yeah, that's something about this kind of little area. Going from like here to Kentucky, the weather changes so quickly. Anybody want to show some love for your YouTube channel? Oh, I keep opening the wrong window. That's because I closed it. That's... I just did. I had to look at the ID picture, make sure I got the right one. All things acres. I know I'm... Are you gonna start making videos, Dawn? Or did you just give it a name? Because I just subscribed to you just in case. I definitely need to get a new mouse. I have just started planting cucumbers and peppers that are shaded from the evening sun. Do you have the same problem that we do here in Texas, where the summer sun just fries your stuff? Nemo just got a post office after not having one for 5 years. We are big time again. Oh, wow. 5 years without a post office? That would have to suck. Alright. I think I found your channel, Dustin. Is that you, Dustin? Your stroke is bad? Well, I was gonna sub you. I got you subbed anyway, just in case you ever change your mind. Because I know a few stroke people that still make videos. I would watch your videos, Dawn. I'm sure you've watched enough of mine. It's only right. I would definitely watch your YouTube someday. Well, when you get them up there, I guarantee I'll watch your videos. I love you too. Donna is awesome. I'm just saying. But I know we have, I think our frost date is March 30th. So I really need to get peppers started. I probably need to get my melons started. Oh yeah, eggplant. Because I want to try to run that this year. Basil, I can just throw seeds and grow basil. I think it's closer. Yeah, I think... Well, see, my sister-in-law, or my ex-sister-in-law, she had her garden too, but it was like out in the middle of her yard where it didn't get any shade at all. And by the end of July, beginning of August, just about everything was fried. But mine would still be doing okay. But mine gets like half and half. Or sometimes like about 7 o'clock in the morning, my garden starts to get sun. But the way it moves across from one end to the other. So, it's... And by the time the sun is hitting this area, the back half of the garden, the front half is getting shaded in the afternoon. So it kind of... It's about half and half. I'm afraid to cut too much of the shade back because I'm afraid my plants will get fried and then I'd have to buy shade cloth. But I don't want so much shade that it really starts impacting the growth of the peppers and the tomatoes. And I'm definitely growing like Brad's atomic grape tomatoes. Oh, I love those. And I'm going to grow I think I still have some black cherry tomato seeds and a few others. Cherokee purples or regular tomatoes I want to grow. on my YouTube channel, I like to wear denim skirts, and I put it in my YouTube channel, and I do not, and I do an unbagging of my new denim skirts. That is cool. Well, I posted your link, so I hope that helps. Showing another YouTube channel love. And I also subscribe to you. And I will definitely check out your channels after my live. I'm running Paul's right now. I got his live stream going on in the background. I got 3 grow lights for Christmas. I have cabbages, pak choy, spinach, cauliflower, and lettuce. What does pak choy taste like? I know what it looks like, but I've never had it that I can think of. If I want to do, I know if I want to do cabbages and lettuces this year, I really need to start getting them into the ground now. But I have to kind of be careful. I need something to cover them with because we have dipped down pretty cold a couple of times. And I don't want to, like, it's supposed to be 36 on Monday is our low. Well, Friday even. Tonight's low is 30. So, but I have a grow light. That right there. To my little Vanna White. That's my grow light. In fact, yeah, I'm not gonna go there and turn it on because my dog will go crazy. Okay, she hasn't moved. I keep looking at her. I gotta stop doing that. If I pay her too much attention, she'll come running over here and trying to climb in my lap. Hey, Jennifer, how are you doing? I wonder if, seeing if Amy was on, I could text her to text Megan for me. No problem, Dustin. We try to share love here. I do not mind promoting another channel. That is how you get your footing. That's how you grow. Meet new people. And all the people I've met on YouTube has definitely changed my life for the better. That's for sure. I wouldn't change none of it. I don't think I've really had a bad experience on YouTube. I mean, I had a couple thumbs down, but I haven't had bad comments or anybody hateful to me in a live or anything. So I wouldn't trade my experience for anything. All the people that I've come in contact with because of YouTube, it's pretty cool. It's almost time for another soda. I only got one left. It's a sad story. Are you still going live on Thursdays? Yes, but I'm not going as early. Where before I would come on at 6. I'll be coming on at 6:30 or 7, depending on how quick I can get dinner done. Get your other Dr. Pepper and grab her. I can definitely try that. Pak choy is the cabbage family. I saute it with garlic slices, olive oil, salt, pepper, and we eat it with salmon or steak. That sounds pretty good. I can't believe it when Tom Brady went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't believe he made it all the way to the Super Bowl 55. I haven't been watching, Dustin. I'm sorry. Hang on, I'm going to go grab my soda and see if I can get her to come on in. She's climbing in bed, so she ain't coming. The homesteading folks on YouTube are family. Most definitely Mid-South Homestead. You hit that nail right on the head. They are definitely like family. If you need anything, even if it's just somebody to talk to, they're there. I mean, you won't meet a better group of people. For reals. But I did try to get Megan to come on in. She kind of giggled and went and lay down on her bed. Of course, her son's been asleep for about 2 hours, I think. So he'll probably be getting up soon. I guess after I finish that soda, it'll be... Ooh, I could make some chocolate milk. Because I love drinking me some chocolate milk. Oops. Put it upside down. See, this is my pepper box. I was at the grocery store and a black girl came up and said, I know you're the guy that wears the denim skirts on YouTube. And then she tried to give me hers, and then skirt she was wearing. You got recognized in the grocery store. Actually, that did happen to me. I got recognized at Sonic, of all places. A lady in the back seat of a pickup truck goes, "Hey, I watch your channel." And I'm like, "Really? You're awesome." Sweet peppers. Lipstick. Krobaki. Hey, Firefly Farm. I'm looking at my peppers. Lipstick. Krobaki. Habanadas. These are old. I'm sure they're still good, but I don't know. I might get new banana peppers. Orange bells. King of the North. I think everybody has those. You had issues. In September, I'm going to try and get a PlayStation 5. That is cool. Golden Treasures. I can't even pronounce that one. Can't pronounce that either. Ooh, cayenne peppers. I definitely have to grow those this year. Red macaron. Notapino. I had notapinos. Those were pretty good. Ooh, more habanadas. Violet Sparkle. I can't remember what those are. Avarsky. Lisa's. And that one. Apple peppers are good. My 7-pot. Sheep nose pimento, man, these are really sweet. Do sweet tea milk will make you sleepy? Maybe. Ooh, paprika and Jimmy Nardello's. I don't know. Sometimes it does. I think the good Lord has put these channels on YouTube for a reason. Yep. When I first started my channel, I didn't even realize how big gardening channels were. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different peppers that I'm going to grow this coming year. And these are the tomatoes. Definitely going Cherokee purples. That's a definite. And then I got some green zebras. I actually bought that plant last year, and they were pretty good. So when I saw the seeds, I bought them. Purple Russians aren't too bad, but I grew those. Oh, Haas Celebration tomato. Bella Rosa. And that's another Haas tool. You have a great set of peppers. I went through all of my seeds today. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I've only been working on my pepper collection seeds for like last year and this year. And last year I spent quite a bit of money. I had a lot given to me in general. Plant some seed that I said, oh, I'm definitely going to plant some that you sent me, Don. I was trying to see if I had an Amish tomato. Oh, pink bumblebees, those were good. They're kind of striped. Those were good. I like those. Those had a good taste to them. Maybe that one. Purple Russian. Cherry tomato yellow. Brickyard. Amish paste. That's the one I was looking for. That's in my gardener. Dr. Witchy's yellows were pretty good. I'm hoping to have a good harvest this year. Oh, that's the one I was looking for. Those are amazing. Some people complain they don't know when to harvest them. And all you have to do to see if they're ripe is feel them. If they're soft, then they're ripe and ready to eat. And most of mine did not make it into the house. I would literally eat them for breakfast. I'd get up in the morning, grab a Dr. Pepper, go out to the garden, and, you know, I'd do my little walk through, and I'd always grab me some of those Brad's Grapes Atomic tomatoes and have them for breakfast. I have 13 peppers and 14 tomato seeds. I plant a lot because sometimes you lose some. That is true. And this year, you might be able to sell some. I will go ahead and plant extras because I was watching somebody else talk about it, and they thought the same thing, that they think there's going to be a lot more gardeners this year than there was even last year. And a lot of them will want seedlings. I think seedlings will be in high demand. Tomato, world's smallest seeds. Oh, my black cherry tomatoes. Do I have any of those left? Oh, and I do. Not many, though. Oh, yeah, I do, too. Not a whole lot in there, but I do. That goes in the must-start seed pile. Cross-pollinate some peppers. Maybe you'll get some medium heaters. Actually, what I did last year is I grew all my sweet peppers in the back where my garden is, my big garden. And all my hot ones, I grew kind of in the, well, it's side front, but pretty good ways away from my sweet peppers because I was so worried about cross-pollination. But the growing season was so iffy, I really didn't keep any seeds. My motto is plant seeds of plants daily and you'll never go hungry. Exactly. Time to learn how to save some of those seeds. I know, right? You don't have any clue on how much money I spent last year, really. I think last year was the year I spent more in seeds than I probably should have. But I wanted to get a jump start on peppers. I really wanted to grow more peppers than I ever had before. Because in the years in the past, because I've been gardening almost 6 years, 5, because it'll be 4 years that I've been on YouTube, so it's been 5 years since I've been gardening. The only peppers I grew one bell pepper type plant, and then I grew my banana peppers, and then I grew my cayenne peppers. And I grew them right next to each other, and did not realize about cross-pollination. And I had saved my banana pepper seeds that year, and planted them my second year of gardening. harvested my banana peppers, sliced them up, pickled them, and a couple days later, my daughter ate one, and she goes, "Oh, that's spicy." And I'm like, "It's a banana pepper. It's not spicy." And she goes, "Oh, these are spicy." And I kind of played it off. Yeah. I took a bite, and it had a little heat to it, but it had cross-pollinated with a cayenne pepper. And I didn't realize, because when you plant a hot pepper with a sweet pepper, if it cross-pollinates, you don't taste it that season. It's only if you save the seeds and plant them the following year that you will know if it cross-pollinated or not, if your sweet peppers are now hot. Yeah, I learned that lesson. So if you don't plan on saving seeds, you can grow your hot peppers with your sweet peppers. It won't matter. But if you plan on saving seeds, then yeah, you want to keep them far away from each other. And from what I understand, even as far apart as I have mine, it's still really not far enough. And you can't tell a bee not to pollinate one plant and to pollinate the other. 2006 months. Wow. Or do you mean 6 months? What? You lost me, Dawn. Bring me back. You spent 2006 months? Is that what you're saying? That's a seed addiction. I thought I had a seed addiction. Have you ever fermented your tomato seeds for drying to save? No. I haven't really saved tomato seeds. I've saved pepper seeds. I have saved cucumber, watermelon, loofah, basil. I have saved a ton of basil seeds, but I've never saved tomatoes yet. I hadn't had a tomato that really did really well here enough to save the seed. But that changed last year. I think the Cherokee Purples did really well here. What is floating around on your right side? My fish. This side, Jennifer? If it's this side right here, that's a fish tank. That's a 55-gallon fish tank. Yes. Yes. You spent 2006 months on seeds? Holy Jesus. Hey, Grammy Karen. Glad I got to see you, or glad you got to see me. Glad you made it. You know what I mean. You speak gnome-isms from the garden gnome. That's a lot of money, Dawn. No, I did not spend that much. I think last year I spent $100 maybe. This year I've spent 20 maybe 30. But I bought cumin seeds, something called summerberry, which is like a blueberry, and I bought some red okra, and then a few of those peppers, seeds, and some other stuff. Deep South Homestead has a great video on saving tomato seeds. Yeah, I like their channel. I watch them a lot. Danny is a real smart man when it comes to stuff like that. And so is Miss Wanda. I also watch Gemini Homestead, of course. And quite a few others. I mean, I've seen it. I've watched videos on how to do it. I've seen it done. I personally haven't done it because the tomatoes, I haven't gotten a real good tomato plant or variety that does really well with the heat. And I did have tomato hornworm problem a couple years ago. Last year wasn't too bad. I think one year I had blight, but predominantly they just kind of do, you know, I don't know. The best tomato growing season that I think I've ever had was my first year, and it was just Walmart seeds, and I don't really remember what variety it was. I'm not even sure if it was on the package. And I didn't even plant them right. I planted basically looked like 3 tomato bushes, because it was about 2, 3, 4 plants in a bunch here, and then like 3 feet over was another 2 or 3, maybe 4 tomato plants. And I think I had 4 of those. It looked like a tomato bush aisle in a way. I didn't know what I was doing. I planted them in the ground, and I could not bring myself to thin them out. Now, mind you, it was the first year I ever gardened, and I was so happy that I grew something from seed. I couldn't kill the seedlings, so I just let them grow, and they intertwined. And then I took like stakes and put twine around them to keep them up, and they were basically a tomato bush. But it kind of worked out in my benefit, because I had a problem with birds. They would come and peck my tomatoes, and since I did that, they would eat the tomatoes on the outside, but all the tomatoes on the inside of this gargantuan bush that was probably 2 or 3 feet around and 6 foot tall. I got the tomatoes on the inside. I saved most of my seeds because they were mostly heirloom. As I say, I'm just now getting to heirloom and hybrids, and I don't know, I should have done it years ago. It probably would have saved me a little money. But I just haven't found a tomato variety that had done really well until last year. And my Cherokee Purples, I was really impressed with those. I'm hoping they do get good again this year. If they do, then I'll probably will start saving seeds instead of buying them. And, ouch. The pepper seeds I'm definitely going to try to save. That's why I'm planting the hot peppers over here, and my garden is over there, because I want to try to save the pepper seeds. I love them. The Cherokee Purples, I do too. I love the flavor. I love the color. I did have a little bit of that ugly face or whatever it is, where they grow kind of like twins. I did have a little bit of that mutation, but all in all, they did really well. They put up with the heat, didn't have any disease, and the first half of my gardening, the watering was real inconsistent, and I had very little splitting. By I think it was the end of July or end of June. I think by the end of June, I finally had my irrigation system in, so the watering balanced out. I'm definitely going to grow those this year again to see if they do as well as they did last year. And if they do, then I probably will start saving seeds and making them a permanent thing in the garden. I know the atomic grape tomatoes will definitely be. Am I canning them? Yeah, I probably will. But I'm not sure if I want to make like a sauce, like just a tomato sauce or a spaghetti sauce or just salsa. Because my household, there's only 2 people out of 4. Well, okay, 4.5 because we have a baby that eat tomatoes. And that's me and my son-in-law. But everybody will eat salsa. Everybody will eat spaghetti sauce. And if the tomato sauce is flavored and you're turning it into spaghetti sauce or chili, then yeah, they'll eat that. But to eat tomatoes on sandwiches or things like that, it's just me and my son-in-law. I keep the leaves pulled off the bottom of the tomato plant to take care of blight. I put small fish in the hole before planting. What kind of fish do you do? I've been really tempted to do that. I also do pull the limbs off about 1.5 feet down. But since I have a drip irrigation system, I usually don't have to worry about blight unless we get a lot of rain. So that's why I still keep the bottom half of the plant bare and trimmed. But what kind of fish do you put in the bottom of the hole, and where do you get them at? Because I thought about doing that. maybe going to Walmart or Albertsons or one of the grocery stores and see if they have any fish leftovers or something, or make some kind of fish concoction. Because, in all honesty, you could probably just buy a whole fish at the grocery store, put it in a blender, and there you got fish emulsions. I mean, it's gross, but I bet you it's cheaper than buying the already made stuff. Mix them with paste. Yeah. Well, I also want to grow the Amish tomatoes, and that's the ones you use to make tomato paste with, because that's what I want to do also, is make my own tomato paste. That's when we're going to try to grow the Amish. I'm just hoping they do well enough this year. Last year they didn't do so hot, but I had put them in that one garden bed that wasn't amended, so none of the plants did well. So I'm hoping that's what it was. We'll try again this year. I don't know what that box is. I also need to see about how to make one. Thank you, Crystal. I've been meaning to look up how to make spaghetti sauce, because that's something I wouldn't mind trying to do out of the tomatoes that I harvest this year. I do like them on sandwiches. I do love taking like cherry tomatoes and having them in my salad. My father used to go fishing and put his fish heads in the hole when he was planting the new rose bush. Yep. Fish guts, well, actually, from what I understand, any kind of animal guts will work well in the garden. It is a source of nitrogen. Dedicated fish tank to fertilizer fish. It wouldn't be that hard. Minnows are dirt cheap. Goldfish are kind of cheap. I know there's some few others that are really dirt cheap. But you could probably go to places like your grocery store, or if you have a hatchery, like I think we have one where they grow catfish and tilapia and bass and perch and stock people's ponds. You might be able to get fish corpse from there. Sarah got some good videos on making spaghetti sauce. I'll have to check it out. Talking about Sarah from Overlook Valley. Just out of curiosity. We have a pond and we use the small ones. Plus we save the guys and the leftovers from when we clean the guts. I'm sure that was supposed to say guts, right? And the leftovers we use after we clean the fish, freeze until we need them. That is brilliant. Bet you the next time I go fishing, I'll save my fish guts and just freeze them. I am going to harvest chickens in May. Well, that's a little late, but I can still save or freeze it. I'm not cheap. No, Don, not if you're spending $2,000 in 6 months on seeds. No, ma'am, you're not. Ain't no way I could spend that. Of course, that's almost my whole year's pay. I can only make $3,000, something like that a year. 60 times 52. Yeah, I only make $3,100 a year. Make sure you put a little of lime on the fish to deter animals. Okay, now I need to write that down because, yeah, we have that problem. Living Traditions Homestead with Kevin and Sarah. Okay, I had to ask because, there's Mark and Sarah at Overlook Valley, and I'm sure that's not the only Sarah. I drew my garden. Can you see it? My drawing skills. Oh, it's almost time for a new notebook. I will definitely put that. Actually, we got an ink pen instead of this pencil. No, we got another pencil. And that's not either thing. Ah, that's a pen. I found my ink pen. Lime, because I do have a bag of lime that my neighbor gave me. Thank you for the tip. Because I have squirrels. And I have possums. And they like to dig in my garden. Was it 2 years ago I cracked an egg under each tomato? Yeah. Planted them, was making a video of it, went back in the house, or went back outside while I was waiting for the video upload, and something had dug up 4 out of like the 20 tomato plants that I had planted to get to that rotted, or not rotted, but get to the egg that I cracked. It is pouring snow here. Oh wow, Grammy Karen. Well, you are in Kentucky though. Please keep that there. Don't let it come here to Texas. Oh, see, I know we have possums. I've seen them. One morning, he was a big sucker. He climbed and was walking on top of the fence. Yes, I do rotate my plants. So far, every year, I change, it rotates. I've changed where the tomatoes and the peppers were every year for the last 4 years, because the first 2 years that I gardened in the ground. It wasn't until my 3rd year that I built garden beds. And when I did that, I had moved it from the side of the house to the very back corner. And that year, I had just one U-shaped bed. And then the next year, I had that U-shaped bed. Technically, I only had one long bed and one small bed. But I was in the process of building another long bed and another small bed. It was almost 5, but only 3 were filled and going. And then the next year, I had moved 2 of the smaller beds and built 2 really long beds and then 2 short beds. So I think I have 9. They are calling for snow here in North Carolina tonight, and I'm looking forward to some snow. Oh, baby girl, you can have all of it. It actually snowed here a couple weeks ago. It didn't stick on the ground, but it fell hard and was kind of pretty. But you couldn't see it accumulate on anything. Not cars, not roofs, not the ground, nothing. It was too wet. Do you stew the extra critters? No. Not that I wouldn't, but no. I have yet to kill any of the critters. Now, my dog did chase the possum until he was on top of the fence and frozen, and kept him there for 30 minutes while me and my neighbor laughed. He does chase the squirrels. He's killed 2 rats. And I'm not eating no rat. LOL, and neighbor's dog dug up my tomatoes. No, she hasn't dug up any plants yet. Knock on wood. But last year, one of my newer beds, I had put almost a whole bag of blood meal. I was blood meal, bone meal, peat moss, coconut coir, and something else. And I mixed it all together, and then I planted seeds. And for 7 days, something kept getting into the bed. I could see where something had dug. It was her. It was my dog. I didn't catch her until the 7th day. I was out there and I was doing something with one of my grapevine plants or the elderberry, and I just happened to look over and see her in the bed just digging. Well, a lot of the stuff still sprouted, but it didn't sprout in the place that I planted it. Can you give a shout out to my girl Amber and Ariel? Thanks. I sure can. Hey Amber, hey Ariel, how you doing? As we say in my family. Something my son started 15 years ago. He goes, hi baby, how you doing? And it's just something me and my daughter kept up. But Han Solo, we do. Well, you have the extra critters of stew. I did. I have to admit though, I did look up how to skin and cook a squirrel for 2 reasons. One, if it ever does hit the fan, that's a meat source. Number 2, maybe, just maybe, I could lower the squirrel population in my backyard because it's getting ridiculous. You didn't have to write down the information. I screenshotted and sent it to you. Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Check your messages when you get off here. I will definitely do that. Usually, okay, yeah, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. What was that? Was that you? I heard something. Let me go look out my door just to be on the safe side. I have no clue. But thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. We've been on over an hour. Would you try it with Dr. Pepper marinade? Actually, depends on what it is. I would try it. Oh, fart. No, that wasn't a fart. It sounded like a whimper or a bark. That's why I thought she barked or whimpered in her sleep. Or maybe it was the little dog outside my door wanting to go out. She'll bark when she wants out. If nobody gets up and lets her out. Well, she'll scratch first. And if that doesn't grab people's attention, she barks. And that's kind of what I thought it was. Oh, you thought the dog farted? No. The squirrel? I think I've had squirrel. I can't be for sure. But I don't think I'd eat possum. Because possum, I don't know, that just seems a little gross. But squirrel, I would definitely think about it. But I think I already have. When I was in my early 20s. I don't know if my ex is on here or not. My first ex-husband had an uncle that invited us over for dinner. And we accepted him. We went over there and it was a stew. And it was a real good stew. And then afterward we asked him what it was. He goes, I don't know. Squirrel, deer, pig. He goes, whatever was in the deep freeze. Because he'd kill something, skin it, and process it, and throw it in his freezer, and not really mark it. And then, every once in a while, grab some meat out, defrost it, cut it all up, and make a stew. And I'm like, so it's kind of like mystery stew. So I'm not too sure. I haven't had squirrel. Oh, he said squirrel, rabbit, deer, and something else. Maybe chicken. Because it would be things that he would be able to hunt or raise. Unless maybe he went to the grocery store and bought. Because this is the 90s. It wasn't like, 1930s or something. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? I'm assuming it's Teresa. I guess it could be Lee, or it could be both. How is your nerve doing? Your back? How you feeling? Mystery Meat Monday. Basically, Han Solo, his uncle just said, I don't know, a little bit of everything. What? And I'm like, well, it was good, but I kind of wanted to know what I was eating. He goes, no clue. I was like, oh wow. It is, Teresa. Sciatic nerve is sore but better. Awesome. I've been keeping you in my prayers, just so you know, because I know those nerve issues are no fun. No fun at all. We just talking about eating squirrel. My husband's cousin brought 16 squirrels. We cooked them to be ready for SHTF situation. It's really good stew. From what I saw in the video, they're kind of like a rabbit and very lean though. Squirrel and dumplings, yum. That is something I've never had. Not saying I wouldn't try it. I'm just saying I've never had it. But I've got a few squirrels in my backyard that I would really love to make some dumplings out of. Or just stew, or I don't know, wrap them with bacon and put them on the grill. I know what rabbit tastes like. I love rabbit. And I've had deer. And of course, definitely I've had, homegrown chicken. I got that in my freezer from the last time we harvested chickens at Amy and Brett Broussard's house. That's some good eating. But I did actually, I have to confess, I did look up a couple videos about a week and a half ago on how to skin and cook a squirrel. Because I was thinking, SHTF, or LCE, life-changing event. Anyway, I figured, that'd be what is it called? Two birds with one arrow. Two birds with one stone. Because these squirrels keep digging, not only digging in my garden beds, planting their pecans. Well, okay, my pecans, because it's my pecan tree. Well, okay, maybe my roommates. But still, the squirrels steal the pecans and bury them. And then later on dig them up. Not only do they do that, but I watched one hop into my garden bed, pick a tomato, climb up the pecan tree, and the pecan tree halfway up has a limb that has been cut off that was kind of too low, so it was, what do you call it, trimmed or pruned. But it sits about 7 inches from the tree. The squirrel was sitting on that little ledge of that limb, looking right at me, eating half that tomato, ate half of it, and threw it down, and went and got down and to the bed to steal another tomato. And that's when I had to get up. I should have filmed it. Oh my, I wanted to chunk something at that squirrel. I was so irritated. Hey, Miss Patty, the tinkerer's wife. Your cat. Dawn, does your cat get into your tomatoes? Xena, my dog, is pretty good about not getting into the garden bed, which I'm kind of amazed because she does love lettuce and greenery. I mean, she's weird. Most dogs won't, but she does. That could be 5-course, all self-provided. Right? Rats got in the tomatoes one year. See, I had rats last year too, but I had rats, I had squirrels, I had birds. But as soon as I made the bird baths, that kind of slowed down a little bit. Squirrel for dinner. I've been thinking about it very seriously. I'm not sure if I can convince everybody else in the house that it's chicken. Ow. But I bet you Megan would probably try it. I don't think the roommate would. I think Cole would eat anything I put in front of him. But I don't know. I have to confess, I actually did watch a video on how to do that. But I've never heard of squirrel dumplings. I'm assuming it's just like chicken dumplings. No, the dog food. No, our dog food don't stay in their bowls long enough for the rats to get that. Squirrel and dumplings, and they would never know. Yeah. I know, I've had frog legs. I like those. So I'm like, it can't be. Like I said, I might have had squirrel and just not known it. But I think it can't be any worse than frog legs or rabbit. And the rabbit I had at Amy's was awesome. Me and, well, actually, it was more Brett than me. I mean, I was there, but I didn't really do a whole lot but learn. We skinned 2 rabbits that morning, and then I watched Amy cut it up, and she stuck it in. They made a roux and, let's see, peppers and onions and garlic. Made a roux, and then put that rabbit in there, and we let it simmer all day on low while we were processing pork. And then later that night, they made some gravy, or not gravy, but rice. Well, gravy and rice. But you got rice, and then they stuck a piece of that rabbit on there, and then the juices, the gravy. Oh my God, that was good. And Teresa, do you make squirrel dumplings? I really like rabbit too, but it is very lean. Yes, we do, and I am on a low carb, so I can't have dumplings right now. Oh, I'm sorry, because I love the dumpling part of any of it. Frog legs are snobby French food. I don't know, dude. I had some at all places. It was a Chinese buffet. I'd never had frog legs before, and they had them, and my daughter goes, "Look, Mama, they got frog legs." And I'm like, "Ooh, should I try them?" I'm like, "Yeah, you only live once." So I grabbed one and went back to my table, and I'm like, I ate one, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is good." So I got back up and got me a few more pieces of it. Yep, I like frog leg. Who would have known? I know I love dumplings. Yes, dumplings with anything. In fact, Teresa, there's times I've made chicken and dumplings, and then like the next day or 2 days later, be almost out of dumplings, but still have, almost all the chicken and the vegetables and the broth. So I'd make more dumplings to go into my chicken and dumplings, like for round 2. Because my daughter, she's the same way. She could just sit and eat the dumplings out of it. And I have a confession to make. I wouldn't eat chicken and dumplings until last year, or a year before. I think it was 2019. 2019, I think it was my first year I ever ate chicken and dumplings. I never cared for the way it smelled. I don't like the smell of boiling chicken. I found a way around that. I take the chicken broth and the cream of chicken, and then your celery and all your other little vegetables, and I threw it in the pot, and I let that simmer and boil all day, and I threw my dumplings. And then I took chicken fajita meat, heated it up, and threw that in there. And that was my chicken and dumplings. Because I don't like the smell of boiled chicken. It just, I don't know, makes me nauseous. Those were probably kitty or puppy legs. Oh man, that's not even right. And no, it was here in town, so we didn't have a population shortage of cats and dogs. So let me keep thinking it was frog legs. I'm just saying. I don't even want to think about that, man. That's not even right. Put that thought in my head. They were good, though. I ain't gonna lie. If it was a cat and a dog, it was pretty good cat and dog. I have had canned chicken with dumplings before. No, I haven't. I usually stayed away from it. Chicken soup, even. Don't really care for it. I don't know why. I know that's weird as all get out. But that's how I get around it. I'll do the broth, the soup part first, and then the dumplings, and I'll either throw in chicken fajita meat, or I'll take a rotisserie chicken and pull all it off the bone and throw it in there at the last minute, just to, basically the chicken's already cooked. I don't have to wait for it to cook. I just make sure I use, chicken broth and cream of chicken, all that in it, to give more of that chicken flavor. That chicken is the last thing that goes in my chicken and dumplings. I am so backward from everybody else. But, I was damaged as a kid. I'm just saying. I bounced on my head a few times. Did you get your package yet? Mail here has been so slow. No, ma'am, I haven't. And our mail did run today, but I haven't gotten anything yet. Did you send it by regular mail, UPS, or FedEx? I know it took... I mailed my niece something, and it was supposed to get there on a Thursday, and it didn't get there until Sunday. And then she's near Washington, like she's in Maine or something. And then I sent something to North Carolina, I think it was, and it got there within 3 or 4 days. So it's been weird. But no, I haven't gotten it yet. I will Marco you, not Marco. Well, yeah, I can Marco you or Facebook message you or text you when I do get it. Sent regular mail on Friday, so it's not a week yet, right? The roommate sneezed and you didn't jump and move and hide. He sneezed twice. I'm getting proud of you. Usually when my roommate sneezes, my dog jumps and runs and comes to my feet. You wouldn't like my house smell right now. I have a whole chicken and a lot of my wood stove. Well, I don't know. Because see, a wood stove, you'd have that wood smoke smell. Because you're using wood, correct? That would probably produce a better smell than the other dog wants in. Than just having it on like a regular stove and boiling water. Hang on. Come on in, Gracie. A little faster. There you go. No food. More than likely, I wouldn't like the smell, but since it's on a wood stove and you have the smell of the wood, it may be different. Yeah, I have to show the dog I have no food in my hand, or she's getting blind, so even that's getting where it don't work. I got a story for you. Yesterday, I was sitting at the kitchen table, eating dinner. I got done, put my dishes away, put my jacket on, and there's still a jacket on the back of the chair. It's just not my jacket. I have this little sleeveless jacket that I wear quite often. You probably see me wear it in my videos. Sorry, I was reading. You probably see it in my videos. Well, I put that jacket on, but Megan's jacket and Cole's jacket was still on the chair, the one kitchen chair. And I pushed the chair in, and I'm looking at her, and the little black dog, she is sitting in front of the chair, or like on the side of the chair, like somebody's in it. And she's sitting there, and then she does her little, I'm like, I look down over her, and she does it again. My daughter's walking through the kitchen making a bottle, and I'm like, stop. I'm like, she's sitting there begging the chair for food. And Megan looks down, and she goes, Arr! And then I can't do her little mocking, whatever little noise, but she does this little step thing, and she grunts. And Megan looks, and she goes, oh, poor baby, she is so blind. She thinks that coat and that chair is somebody sitting there. Hey, Raven Cat. Everybody's saying hello. But yeah, she's sitting there and begging the I guess she thought the coat was a person. And we're just like, oh wow, poor baby. Hey, Gary B. Hey, Rachel and all. Late to the frog leg cook-off. But send any your way. Don't want. Send any your way. Send any you don't want my way. Oh, no, I liked them. I liked them a lot. Now, somebody, God, was it Han Solo, said something about they could have been puppies or kittens because I ate it at a Chinese buffet. But that was the first time I had frog legs, and they were real good. I liked it. I was really surprised. She's moving. Trying to see what she's doing. Let's see if I can show you. See, she's being a good girl. The other one's on the floor. It's not every day I have both of them in here. Usually I have one or the other. Well, usually I have mine and not Megan's, but she's already went to bed and has her door shut, so she's like, she can't get into there, so she's gonna come in here and sit with me, I guess. But I do feed them most often and let them out when they want out and make sure they have water, so I guess they see me as the alpha of their pack. But yeah, she was sitting there just begging for food at the table, with nobody sitting at the table. It was kind of sad. But she is pretty old, and you can look at her eyes and see that she kind of has cataracts or something. She's going blind. And not to mention, she's a Shih Tzu breed, so her hair is just like, I'm a Shih Tzu. Sometimes I'm petting her, and I'll take her hair and I'll push it out of her eyes, and it falls right back down. It's like, oh, poor baby. And it really gets to bugging me. I'll sit her down and hold her a certain way so I can cut her, cut so she could see. Because her hair grows really long, really fast. But she's a good dog, but she's pretty old. She was a rescue that we got 5 years ago. And we had her 5 years, and she was old then. But little dogs do live longer than big dogs. So we just said it is great how you have come out of your shell since the first time we met you at the shindig. Seems like forever ago. It's been 2 years. 2. Well, okay, almost 2. Like, April. I had to stop and think. And we probably won't get to have one this year either, do you think? But tell Lee I said thank you. Yes, I am coming out of my shell a little more each time. Of course, I'm going live 3 times a week, so that's really starting to help. You don't have a choice when you force yourself in front of the camera. Something I told Amy to keep doing, just keep practicing. Did you ever order any seeds from the link I sent you for 55 cents? No, I did not. I pretty much have all the seeds that... Okay, pretty much out of money. But even if I had money, I wouldn't be buying any more seeds. I think I pretty much got everything. No, I don't think they're having it, but I plan on having the picnic. Well, I'm going to be there. My foster dad is an hour and a half away from that area. Miss Lippy lives in that area, so I'm going to be there. Hey Jennifer, do you still have that link? I'm sure I do if I really hunt and peck for it through Facebook Messenger. If you have that link, Jennifer, you can post it because I just made you a moderator. Don't freak out. You ain't got to do nothing. You now can post a link if you want. Just so you know. But it was a place that sold seeds for 55 cents a pack. And when she sent it to me, I had ordered all that I was going to order, except for I don't remember when I ordered that last pack because it took forever for me to even get it. By the time that I got the last pack that I ordered, which was the cumin seeds, the summer berries, and the red okra, it took like 3 or 4 weeks. I had forgot that I'd ordered it and hadn't received it yet. It was kind of mind-blowing. I got an email. I'm like, oh, because I was just fixing to start going through my email to see. Like, I started thinking that I hallucinated, that maybe I didn't even order it. You can never have enough seeds. Yeah, but you tend to run out of money. There comes a time where I have to kind of stop spending. Hey, Life with Linda. So much money on seeds and start buying soil or compost or fertilizer or other stuff to go with it. I get paid $60 a week. That's $240 a month to $300, depending on how many weeks it is in a month. I have to really manage where my money goes, and it is easy for me to overspend. And like last year, I spent over $100 on seeds before I ever knew it. And I'm like, ooh, I can't do that again. Not to mention, it's been hard finding places that have the seeds that I've been looking for. But I agree, you can never have too many seeds until you start running out of places to put them. But that's why I got my seed containers. But last year I spent a lot of money on seeds, no problem. And he even has his own YouTube channel. His name is Ray. Well, you know what? Opening a new window. I can bookmark that. That way, the next time I need seeds, I'll have it. FYI on the link there, offline to process orders Monday through Thursday. So wait until tomorrow to order online. We have learned to save seeds more. We do some, but need to do it more. Yeah, same here. They do not ship outside the U.S. Well, I'm in the U.S., so I'm good on that one. You can barter with your grow zone. I don't know a whole lot of people in my grow zone. I mean, I know a few, but not a whole lot. But that's why I love those the events like the Shindig, the Bayou Bash, the picnic. We all did seed swaps, and each event that I've went to, I've picked up a ton of seeds. In fact, the Shindig and the Bash, I didn't even take, well, none of them, I don't think I took any seeds with me. But I came home with a ton. I came home with the Shindig, I came home with my elderberry, which I finally planted last year, and it's almost as tall as me. And I know that's not very tall. But still, my elderberries is almost as tall as I am. I finally have a place to plant them. I am doing a container garden on my back deck. That is awesome, Life with Linda. I actually do some container gardening. I do my potatoes in containers. My mints, I do in containers. Sometimes I even do my strawberries in containers. But last year I moved my strawberries to the garden bed, the U-shaped one. I need to start thinking of soil now. Yeah, same. Yes, seed swaps are wonderful. Yes, they are. I have snow on the ground. So it is below freezing. I need to think of springtime. Life with Linda, that planting my garden and deciding what I'm going to plant is the only way I make it through winter. I know that's kind of sad, but winter depresses me. It's cold. It's cloudy. You can't go outside and you can't grow nothing. And my garden is my happy place, and winter takes that from me. That's why I really need to build me a high tunnel. Thank you, Jennifer. I will give them a look. I will just find a new hiding place so my hubby won't see them. Yeah. I have to do that sometimes with my daughter. You got more seeds? Yeah. I'm getting those like green stock containers. Yeah, I got some of those from the Dollar Tree last year. I got like 5 of them. Instead of stacking them up, because I have such a big dog that gets really rambunctious, I ended up just laying them down in the middle path of the arbor. Like right underneath the bamboo arbor, there's this, like 4 or 5 feet wide, 6 feet wide. So I just lined those planters single file and had flowers in them. They were pretty cool. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them this year. I'm sure I'll put more flowers in them. You can do Craigslist barter to pick public places. Actually, I did Facebook Marketplace is how I found free fertilizer that I get once a year. And I was supposed to get it 2 weekends ago. It's a former Marine that has a ranch. And he has cows, horses, chickens, rabbits, you name it. And he composts it, and then he gives it away. If you come to his place, he'll fill up your truck or your trailer, and you don't have to, but you can get him a couple dollars for gas for his tractor. And I have him not on speed dial, but he has me on, like, where he can just message me and tell me to come get a truckload of compost. Now, I was supposed to do it a couple weeks ago, but something came up. And then we have a rock in, I don't know what kind of place you call it, where you can buy sand, dirt, rock, gravel, whatever. And I can get a truckload, well, it's almost a truckload of compost, regular or decent compost for $32. And you can get super soil for, like, I think it's $42. I think one's $34 and the other one's $42. And I'm going to get a couple truckloads from them, too. Miss Sherry showed us a Dollar Tree dupe for the green stock containers. Yep. I also seen it with an Organic Raw Root Farm. Terry is her name. She showed me last year, and she told me that they were back in Dollar Tree, and that's where I got mine. I'm doing strawberries in mine and flowers too. I did flowers in mine because I already had my strawberries in my garden bed. So, and they're kind of taking over that garden bed. And I didn't know what else to plant in it, so I went ahead and planted, I think it was marigolds and some other type of flower. You can put some strawberries or herbs in the planters. I might do herbs. Definitely herbs, because you can't have too many herbs. But the thing is most of my herbs go crazy. Like my basil will get 6 feet tall. About that big around. I mean, that's a good deal. It helps him get rid of his compost manure too. Yeah. Exactly, but he advertised it on Marketplace, and the ones that have come in the past, he just gives them a call, or actually a message, say, hey, we're doing compost this weekend. I'm like, cool. And he's a former Marine, so I kind of like that. I gave him $5-10 for gas, and he filled up my truck. He goes, so how much do you want? I said, right before the truck bed hits the tire. Stop right before that. He goes, I got you. I have lots of marigolds and zinnia seeds from VW Farms. I have lots of marigold and zinnia seeds, but I think they're from Seed Saver Exchange. And also people send them to me. You should do a Seed Start collab with him, maybe a veteran and PSD thing. I'm not sure if what he grows. And he wasn't close to me. I mean, he's close enough, but not close. You know what I'm saying. Basil doesn't get near that big here. Oh, it does here. In fact, 4 feet tall is the shortest basil plant that I get. And it'll get, especially after it seeds out, I can't even put my hand around it. But I love the smell of it because it smells like pepper. Basil shrubs. Yes. Most definitely. I don't know how big anything will be here. I'm looking forward to finding out. Especially when you get to a new location. And it depends on your soil. Are you growing in containers? Are you growing in the bed? Or are you growing in the ground? In the ground, my basil got fairly big, but not nearly as big as it did in the garden bed or a container. But you see, basil shrub, it pretty much. In fact, in one of my garden beds last year, I had a basil plant pretty much smother out a pepper plant, and the pepper plant was planted first, like by a lot first. Like I bought the plant that was already like this big, 7 or 8 inches tall, and then a random basil seed started sprouting, so I let it go. because unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, all my garden beds are littered with basil seeds. Basil grows randomly all throughout my yard because the last 5 years I've grown basil, and sometimes I didn't harvest the seed and just let the wind take them. And in fact, I joked about last year taking seeds and walking around the fence line, but I never did get around to doing that. But I still like to do it, have like just a wall of basil, and I've got enough seed to get away with it. I have those baggies. I have full. I had a Ziploc gallon bag. I had a third of it filled on the bottom last year from all the basil seeds I collected. I'm doing all containers where I live. Last year in Missouri, we had too many snakes for me. Yeah, Miss Linda, you might want to watch out for that. Copperheads and water moccasins are really favorable in Missouri. Linda, my son just moved to Kansas City. I love the cinnamon basil you sent me. I hope it comes back year after year. I had to order some more seeds, though. Jennifer, even Amy, it did well for her, too. I actually got that. I got that cinnamon basil from Horticulture Geek at the Shindig in 2019. I planted like 3 or 4 plants, maybe 5 plants, and they grew like crazy, and I harvested them, and that's the ones I gave you. Also gave Amy, and I want to say I gave somebody else some too. Great place to live. My Thai basil gets huge in the ground. That's one I don't have. Oh, invasive basil, too funny. Yeah, right there at I think it was 2 years ago, right at our back door, the foundation is cracked a little bit where the patio comes out, and there was a little crack. And there was this little plant that was about that tall, and I was walking out from inside to going out to the back door, and I looked down, and I giggled. My roommate asked me what was funny. I said, basil, and he goes, is that what that is? I said, yes, sir. I had a basil, and I had harvested the basil. It was already dried out, and I harvested it, and I stuck it on the picnic table. Well, some of the seeds had blown everywhere, and there was places all around the patio that you could see little basil plants popping up. And right there at the back door, between the house and the patio, there was a crack, like that. It was growing right there at the back door. And I was fixing to transplant it, and he told me to leave it. But yeah, it can be invasive, the way I seem to grow it. There's a lot of things I can't grow. Basil is not one of them. I can grow basil blindfolded. I don't know why, but it loves this area. You could pot up those babies and sell them. That's brilliant. We love it up here in Missouri, or in Tennessee. Well, yeah, it has been a long day. I have worked a lot in my kitchen organizing it, and I'm almost done. Yay! I haven't worked that hard. But take care, Miss Linda, if you're going to bed. God bless. Thanks for coming. I don't think it gets hot enough for long enough for basil to grow that well here. Maybe. And that might be why it grows so well here, because it starts getting hot. Okay. Some years, like last year, we were mowing our yard in January. Not so much this year, but last year we had to mow our yard in January. We will have cold spells where they last 3 or 4 days, and then you'll have 3 or 4 days where it's warm, spring-like, 70, and then you might have a couple days where it's 30, 40, cold and raining. But we have more warm days than we do cold days, so things get a head start. And if by some chance, sometimes they can still survive a frost. Like the first year I had my garden bed. I planted 72 plants, 70 plants. And then we had a frost, and I was so scared I lost everything in there, and I didn't lose anything. Last year, I can't say that. Last year, we had 3 frosts, and that third one killed everything. But aren't most herbs almost a weed? Grow everywhere. Yeah, when you think about it. I don't know. I've moved my rosemary twice, and that's made it kind of angry. It's not dead, but it suffered. So did my sage. Now this year I didn't move it. I'm not moving it anymore, and hopefully it'll come back stronger this coming growing season. I think it was last year. I think it was German thyme and Italian oregano, something like that. One's on one corner of the U-shaped bed, one's on the other corner of the U-shaped bed, and they have pretty much taken over. I harvest a ton of oregano, and I still could trim that plant down and not even kill it by a whole lot. I just haven't. My garlic chives went goofy, but they started getting really big, and then the oregano really started taking over, so it kind of smothered out the garlic chives. I've kind of trimmed that back. That was the biggest part that I had dehydrated and stored, so I'm hoping maybe the garlic chives come back. If not, I'll plant some more. On the other side, I have thyme, and it's kind of taken up the whole corner and plus gone over the edge. I've been meaning to kind of trim it and wash it, dehydrate it, and get it stored. I just haven't done it yet. But I also have some kale I need to dehydrate. I think I have like 6 kale plants that are pretty decent size and color, because they've had a couple, like I said, we've had a few frosts, so it's not as bitter. And I'm sure the older leaves might be kind of bitter because they had a lot of heat, but those brand new baby leaves are all over the place. They're pretty sweet. I've already had some. Now you need garlic, onion, and sauce tomato. My garlic is already in the ground, and it's already sprouted. It's about that tall. I have almost 200 onion bulbs that I need to get into the ground. Especially mint. I have just let a part of my backyard become mint area. Yes, mint is real invasive. I did have chocolate mint, and I miss it. It was in a pot that hung up, and it finally died out. I think after 3 years, it finally died off, or 2 years. I missed that one. But I don't have any other regular mint. But from what I understand, oregano is in the mint family. I'm sure Miss Patty could correct me if I'm wrong there. But oregano is in the mint family, and that was one of the reasons why it is so invasive. Mint is a strong grower. It is not only runs but can also self-sow. Oregano does not grow like mint. Oh, mine did. I'll have to show you how big mine is. It was in a pot, not much bigger than this can. You know the pots that are just a little bit bigger than this can? That you get for like $5 at Walmart? You know, like the aloe vera, you know, those kind of pots, how small. That's how small my oregano was. Now it's about 2 foot by 3 foot, or maybe 2 foot by 2 foot now that I've trimmed it. Oregano will self-sow, and all the people have to do is cut off the spent flowers before the seeds are released. Yeah, I cut it off a lot, and I still have a ton of it. I planted purple kale in my garden, and it's doing great. and it is sweet. I need to try the purple kale. It does not run like mint does. It will spread, but it doesn't run. Well, it did something because it smothered out my garlic chives. But it got so big. I'm telling you, that thing went. But I did see it where it went to seed, and some of it went over the bed, and some of it went inside the bed. But it went from a little plant like this to a plant like. That might not be wide enough. I'm trying to go by memory. The bed is 10 foot. 10 foot this way, 8 foot that way. I've got 2 foot here, and then 4 foot for the trellis. That's 6. So it's almost 4 feet. 3.5. We'll say 3.5 by 2. It was longer that way, but I cut it to get it away from the garlic chives to try to save it. Yeah. They can grow it. I'm trying to figure out. I think I had it 1 year, but maybe it was 2. I'd have to go back and look at a video. I may have had that for 2 years. But I know for the first little bit, I didn't even have it in the garden bed. This is the second winter I've had it, I think. No, third. So maybe it is 2 years old. Because one of my ex-sister-in-laws bought the oregano, the thyme, and the garlic chives. And I had them, and they were in the little pots that you get at Walmart. It is basically a ground cover type plant, but it is not a runner. It also has been grown in a much richer soil than it needs there, which means it will get a lot. Whoa, what was that? Okay, it's charging. That was weird. It kind of did a thing. Hey, Skippy72. It grew large. That's an understatement. I'm not sure. Well, I guess it probably was better than the soil that came with Walmart. Yes, that is weird. Not hard to dig out though. That I know. Worth swapping starts with folks who need them. I see when I stuck it in there, it was like that big around, and now it's like that big around. I don't know how to break it up without breaking the roots. My strawberries are the same way, and every time I try to dig up a strawberry plant and transplant it, it dies. And I'm scared the oregano will do the same thing, because it has spread out so far. I don't know how bad the roots are intertwined. I think I'm going to try that purple kale. I have tried a couple other varieties and liked it. I have red okra, and I've tried, I have purple broccoli. But I like the purple colors. It just make it your herb bed. See, that's what I've been thinking about doing. Well, herb and strawberry. Because I have thyme here. My strawberries are taking over. I had given them a 4 foot section, because it's a U-shaped bed, and it's 10 feet, 8 feet, and then each thing is 4 foot wide. And this end here has strawberries. This end here is thyme, and they've almost met each other, with strawberries winning. The other side is the oregano, and it's like 3.5 feet wide this way, but about 2 that way. Then there's 1 foot of garlic chives, and then the rest was tomatoes. And the tomatoes, of course, are dead. I just have to clean it out. And I've seriously thought about, actually I thought about that one end where the tomatoes were to put potatoes, but I really don't want to put potatoes in my garden bed. People have the idea that these plants should stay about 12 inches and that's it, which is unrealistic, really, Just take a shovel into it. Since it grows so strong, don't worry. You know those little window planters you see that they say your herb garden for your kitchen? I look at that, especially when I see basil, because I know how big my basil gets. And I'm like, mm-mm. I used to have, uh, it was a tote, and I had cut holes in it and put 2-liter bottles in there, turned them upside down. You pack the bottom with soil, and you take the lid and you put holes in it and put in like pantyhose or whatever and screw it back on, and then you pack it full of potting mix. That way it won't fall out into the water, but it wicks up to the plant. And then I planted basil and lettuce and peppers and other things like that, and I stuck it upside down. You know, the 2-liter bottle kind of goes in upside down to where the head, where the lid is, goes into the water. And then you put minnows or mollies or any kind of fish in there. You don't even have to put fish in there. It's kind of like a self-watering. Then I turned it into an aquaponics system by putting the fish in there. And that basil would get almost as tall as that window. I'd have to take it outside. Got to get in the shower, but we'll leave this running for support. Love you. Love you too, Miss Teresa. Thank you so much. I prune my oregano back hard in the fall and clean up more in the spring when it begins growing again. I'm excited about the new okra called jambalaya okra. It's very productive, and the seeds are very expensive. I ordered mine from Johnny's, but they have them at Haas Tools. Has anyone here trellised their melons like Jess? Yes, I have. In fact, I trellis all my melons. Well, okay, not the big stinking watermelons, but I do my cantaloupe. I do sugar watermelon, the sugar baby watermelons. I've done the tiger melons, the Kajari melons. And if they get a little too heavy, then I'll kind of tuck it into the catapanel to where it's kind of wedged. If you wait, okay, I had a problem with squirrels or rats or something would knock it off the trellis and then eat its way through a tunnel through, I think it was my tiger melons and my cantaloupe. But if I got them pulled off, then it was good. I even trellised my cucumbers, same. But last year I grew those apple cucumbers, so they were like softball size or tennis ball size. They wasn't too bad. I like the long cucumbers better. I didn't like the apple cucumbers because if you left them on the vine too long, they got bitter, and then they got really hot. And I had went to Louisiana for a week and came back. I think this was like the end of June, beginning of July. No, it was July because it was past around my birthday. And I came back and I had like 30 of them on the plant, and all 30 were bitter. So, yeah. I think I'm going to go back to regular old cucumbers. I use in my gardeners. We have a local co-op that we buy seeds from too. There is also a local feed and seed store that sells by the pound. So we have a feed store, Russell's feed store, that sells by the pound. Jambalaya okra is an F1 hybrid, so it no need saving unless you don't care if you get a different type of plant progeny. I think it'd be kind of cool, but I don't know. My okra didn't grow at all last year. It didn't sprout. But I tried to do direct sow, and it just didn't work. This year, when I trellis, it's gonna trellis the cucumbers, the melons, the loofahs. Last year, I even trellised some of my tomatoes, like off the catapanel, and just kind of started letting it weave and grow. Because most of the tomatoes I grow are indeterminate, so they'll keep growing. F1 is the form, yeah. F1 is not stable. I think it has to be F3. Because I think even F2 is still not stable, if I remember right. I really like trellis and tomatoes. Especially if they're indeterminate tomatoes, because the indeterminate will keep growing. If the soil's good enough. I like Baker Creek seeds. Yeah, I do too. I do Seed Saver Exchange, Baker Creek, Haas Tools, M.I. Gardner. I do Russell Feed Store that's here local. And there was one other place that I bought from this year, but I can't remember what company it was, but it was a small company. I just kind of, it was a particular pepper that I was looking for, and I couldn't find it anywhere else, and they actually had it, so I bought it from them. It takes years to establish hybrids. That's what I was thinking, like, way down the line. I love Hudson Valley seeds. I haven't had Hudson Valley yet, but there are quite a few great seed companies out there. You might have to go and try, each company one at a time and see which one you like best. I use Kitzawa. I can't pronounce that. I apologize. Seeds. Victory Seeds, Territorial, and some other local companies on the West Coast and Baker Creek. I shop them all. Yeah. It just depends on what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm not a seed seller snob. It's not that I won't buy from a certain person, because if you have the seed I want at the price I want, Kitzawa, it's Japanese. Okay. Kitzawa. I bet you I look funny as all get out trying to pronounce these words. Think I'm going to try trellising my sugar baby watermelons. My cucumbers climbed about 8 foot on a trellis last time I planted them. Yep. Most of my cattle panels end up being about a 6 foot arch, and I'm only 5 foot. But what I can do is, since it's a cattle panel, it sways. So I grab where I can reach and kind of pull down, and it'll bend down a little bit, and I can harvest with this hand while I have this hand holding it down, and I'll let it go and grab this one over here and start pulling over there. Or I'll get a step stool. Sometimes I do that, but it just depends. But I did my sugar baby watermelons on them. I did my cantaloupe, tiger melons, Kajari melons, and there was another one that I grew on there. Loofah gourds, of course. The birdhouse gourds. And like I said, even my tomatoes. If it grows tall and weaves, or I can weave it and train it, and it's near my cattle panel, it's going in there. Even my grapevine, but it's not a cattle panel, it's a hog panel. I turned it sideways, so it's like, 4 foot tall, but it's, I guess it's 8 feet long, because it's not quite as long as a cattle panel. And I have a T-post. I think I have 2 T-posts running through it, maybe 1. I love them. I want to get more, but oh God, how much are they now? I haven't even looked. Tractor Supply is usually where I get them. Let's see how much the cattle panels are. Cattle panels. Now, mind you, this is for north central Texas, and I know they vary from place to place. Is that one? Yeah, that's it. $20.99 before tax. Love me some cattle panels. I think after tax, yeah. I think it's about $24 to 23. And I'd like to have a few more of them. Strictly Medical Seeds is great herbs and they have great prices. I'll have to check those out. Coastal Farm is where I get mine. They go on sale here real soon, I think. Yeah, see, sometimes Tractor Supply will have them cheaper. My M.I. Gardner seeds did not produce, so this year I'm trying Mary seeds out of California. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good about Murray's too, Cecilia. I get most of my seeds from Haas, Baker Creek, Wilhite, and my local feed store. I'm gonna go get horizontal. Have a good night, everyone. Good night. I love that, Miss Patty. I'm gonna go get horizontal. I probably will end it here too. I've been on almost 2 hours. At least I think it's been almost 2. Yeah, actually it has been 2 hours. So I think this is a good place to stop. I hope everybody had fun. I did. Hope to see you tomorrow, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Same bat time. No, different bat time, same bat channel. There we go. And I will definitely be on Saturday night at 9. Yeah, Saturday I go on at 9. And Wednesday I'm supposed to go on at 8, but I was kind of slow tonight. And Thursday, 6:37. Depending on how quick I can get dinner done. But I will see you fellas then, or folks then. Good night all. Take care. Stay safe and warm. Yes, please stay warm for all you people getting the snow. Please keep it up there with you and don't share. I know Mama said it was good to share, but she didn't mean the snow and the cold. Remember, I love you. God bless and peace. Have a good one. Stay safe. All that southern jazz. Love y'all. Bye.